Hello everybody, Average Gamer here. Welcome to another little honest review video. So in this episode, Destiny 2, Shadowkeep. So I want to mention this first off. I got it, yes. Been playing it for, well, a week now, to be exact. Pretty much from the beginning. You guys saw my live stream about it. I think I've streamed now twice. Finished the campaign. Did a little bit of the, let's use my mouse here. Did a little bit of the Vex offensive. Did a little bit of the nightmare hunts. Did a little running around. Did some bounty stuff. Collected some of the chests. Did some lost sectors, things like that. Like, got a nice broad feeling of the whole thing. I pretty much have done everything minus the raid. So today I wanted to talk about my thoughts on Shadowkeep. So I will never say buy it or don't buy it. I'm going to give you my honest opinion. So first off, it's prices wise, I'm going to tell you are in Canadian. So up to you. Number one, it's $40 versus Forsaken's $35. In my opinion, is the price difference the thing? I will say this. The one thing that obviously Shadowkeep has that Forsaken doesn't is you get the first part, or you get the, what is it, the season pass included. So whether that's included in the price, I'm going to assume yes. We'll say that was the $5. So now we'll say, okay, both are now the same price, because season pass, if it's more than $5, if it's $10, then obviously the answer will be yes, then technically being included is worth a little bit more money. Now, here's the thing. Map-wise, if you include areas under the Hellmouth, areas included, I'm going to move the map up here, areas over here that you can go to, over here that you can go to, over here that you can go to, is it worth more than Forsaken, or is it better than Forsaken dollar for dollar wise? My opinion is no. Now some people are gonna be like, "Oh, what what are you talking about?" Blah blah blah. Here's the reason. Forsaken added 2 maps to the game: the city and the shore. With that came 2 strikes. Is it 2 strikes or 3 strikes with Forsaken? We have 1 strike. This is a new one, so we're gonna... Oh no. Yeah, that's the new one. We're gonna ignore that. Prison of Elders, yep. Forsaken mission, yep. And then you have 1 strike only. 1 strike only, please, right? Let's do that. Yep. Alright, so you got 2 strikes with Forsaken. With Shadowkeep, we receive 1. We receive 2 maps with Forsaken. We only receive 1 map for Shadowkeep. Now, mind you, I will say that the map sizes, I want to say Shadowkeep is about 2/3 of the size, roughly, of Forsaken, with how it feels and how it plays. Whether that is 100% accurate, I'm not 100% sure on that. But size-wise, no big deal. We get more events. We get more things to do, it feels like, in Shadowkeep, with the nightmare hunts and the way the bounties are set up, to then, go to other planets and things like that. I found that nothing in Shadowkeep sent me to older planets, unlike Forsaken did. So in Forsaken and in Warmind, and even in the Mars campaign, you had to go back to non-DOC planets. So I believe in Forsaken... Actually, you know what? No, I'm wrong. Forsaken actually never actually sent you anywhere. It was the first DLC that didn't. You did everything on the Tangled Shore. I'm wrong. And then obviously the Dreaming City. Shadowkeep follows up on that, and actually you do everything on the moon right from the beginning, excluding as I've said, excluding bounties. Everything's moon-based, which I really like. I actually enjoy the fact that it's like, here's the DLC, here's the entire area. Everything associated with this expansion or DLC is on this, in this location, and that is it. I like that. So, thumbs up for that. Number 2, I'm going to ignore the fact that with Shadowkeep coming out, they overhauled a bunch of other stuff. But I will say this, I don't like the 750 start. Players like myself spent a very long time getting to that level, only for it to be given to new players. And you know what? I thought before, no big deal. I could care less, because what they wanted to do is have the entire community on the same level. All of them play together and be together. Which I thought, it's cool, new players and old players all getting together, doing strikes and whatever, Crucible and all that together. No big deal. Over time, they'll catch up. I never, how can I put this? The frustration I've had when doing strikes, for obviously since day one when the game came out on PC, I have not been as frustrated as I was then. Now, I understand I'm coming at this from a fact of someone who's played the game a lot, but it's certain things you kind of expect other players to be doing in strikes. Because you're like, well, we're all level 750, 800, whatever. They should know what they're doing. Fact is, nobody does. Some people don't even have 100% control of the controls yet. They don't know what all the buttons do. And they're getting access to strikes, the raids. Crucible's no big deal to me, for people having access to that. But I feel like they need to reconfigure that, honestly. I think what they need to do, or what they should have at least done, is if you start a new character, you start at 0. Or 10 light, because the level system's out, right? So you start at 10 light. With that light, as you incrementally increase that light, you unlock things, as they did back in the day. So for example, once you hit, 50 light, which would be like, 2 missions? You've now learned the controls, kind of gone through a tutorial phase of the game, and now they're like, hey, PvP is now available to you. So now you get to understand PvP and all that stuff. Once you get up to, say, 200 light, hey, you can now do low-level strikes and get that gear associated with that to level yourself up slowly. Then, once you get to 300, it unlocks the additional strikes, unlocks the raids, and says, hey, here's some harder stuff now. And that will put them into the, the medium-sized pool of more players. Then, from there, you basically grind up to, say, 500. But I mean, I've gone up to already almost 200 levels in a week. So, I mean, this isn't really that big of a deal, right? I mean, you play for 1 week, finish off the campaign, you finish the campaign. By then, you were always level 20. You had like almost maxed out all your levels, things like that. So that was never a big deal, leveling in the game. But yeah, so once you get to level, your light level gets to 500. That unlocks the next tier of strikes. That unlocks, the next levels of, Nightfall and all these things. Like, slowly introduce new players into things one thing at a time. Because just throwing everything at a new player, yeah, I don't mind carrying new players at all. I don't mind it a bit. I don't mind holding their hands and pulling them through a strike or whatever. I don't mind that. What I do mind, though, is having to do it 5, 6, 7 times in a row, where it's like, I just want to grind through this real fast. I want to run through it and get it done, because I only have an hour to play today. An hour and a half to play today. If I had 4 or 5 hours, I would have no problem playing with, new players and going and grinding things out slowly with them and kind of walking them through the levels. Multiple occasions, I've been standing in a spot typing and telling people what they need to do. We're on multiple occasions, for example, you do a raid and someone needs to scan 3 different things. Trying to remember, I think it's the Paramedian Strike. Usually when I'm playing, I'll see if anyone's going to the first one. If not, I'll go to the first one. Usually the other 2 players split up and go to other ones so that we can scan them faster and get to the next section of the strike. In the new one, everyone goes to the first one. Everyone then goes to the second one. Everyone then goes to the third one. Everyone then goes to the fourth one. And it's just like, oh, just please. Like, I know people will learn over time, and I know this is a bad thing to say, but I think they should split up the player base a little bit. I already know there's a lot of people playing. The numbers are out there in the public, you Google them. The numbers are very, very good for them to be able to do something like that. Unfortunately, it's a little too late. So, for that, I'd have to ding Destiny 2 Shadowkeep because of that. They wanted to keep everyone together for the detriment of one group over the other. And I mean that in both ways. For new players, you're being thrown in with veteran players that are going to assume you know what you're doing and do their thing. And then we'll have to be like, okay. And then we'll have to go back and do something for you. Or for the new player. I might say this and then in a week I might change my mind. But right now, that is how I feel. That's my honest opinion. I think they should have split the player base and then slowly brought in new players in with the older players. Like, slowly level them up. I don't like the fact that they're level 0 or new character is 750 power. That doesn't make sense. That, I think, is overall my biggest gripe. Not because it took me forever to grind up on my Xbox and then move over to PC and then, do the cross save. It took me ever to max out my character. Not doing the raids, but doing PvE only. But the fact that that's now 0. Like, that doesn't make sense. Like, start people off at 10 power and explain to them how the power system works and slowly integrate this, slowly, level them up. That gives everyone a sense of accomplishment. It feels like, as of now, you start a new character, you start at 0, aka 750, and you're given everything right off the bat, and it's like, oh. Well, that's kind of meh. Like, you'll be done the campaign, and you'll be at level 900. The main campaign. And you'll be at the soft cap of 900. Or 950. Whichever one it is. I think it's 950, actually, is the soft cap. Like, it's... How can I put this without sounding too much like a pompous insert expletive here? I think it's a really, really ridiculous idea. You start in the game, it's like, hey, I'm new to the game. I'm level 750. What? How does that work? What? How did I get here? Who is this woman? Where is my car? Like, I think that's the thing that frustrates me the most. Is just the way the leveling system now works. It's very just as if they just threw something up at a wall and went, there you go. 0 is 750. It's like, that doesn't make sense. I would not be surprised if a year, 5-6 months from now, when they release the next version of expansion, they will give people the ability to start a level 0 character. I'm pretty sure of it. And it'll be like, hey, and we're going to call it hardcore mode or something like that. And it'll be free, but it's basically them just unlocking unlocking the player progression from below 750 and giving everyone the ability to start a level 0 character or a 750 character. You start a new character and it gives you the 2 options, like Forsaken did. Where it's, hey, do you want to max out this person immediately to the minimum that you need to be at level wise for the for this DLC, or do you just want to start at 0? I always picked 0. I had 3 characters, all started with 0. Thought it was so much fun. That I started a new character, go through the campaign again, go through the Mars campaign, go through the Mercury campaign, go through Forsaken over again, have all that fun of just playing the game and earning new gear and earning new stuff. And it feels like basically new players have been robbed of that experience, that accomplishment that you would feel from going from the lowest level possible. Like, even everything was level 1. Literally level 1. Like light level 1. And then you would just slowly work your way up. You see that number growing, and you get that sense of accomplishment. Now you load in, and it's like, oh, I'm 750. What does 750 mean? Let's find out. Anyways, thanks for watching, everybody. See you in the next Honest Review. Bye-bye.